In this video, we will learn to solve problems under cash budget. I would suggest you all to pause the video and write down the problem so that you too can solve the problem simultaneously for better understanding. In this problem, we are required to prepare monthly cash budget for 6 months starting from April 2021. Now, cash budget is mainly divided into two parts. So, you have cash receipts where the business gets all its money from. So, cash inflows. Okay. And then we have cash payments. That is all the payments which the business has to make, which involves cash. So, when it is cash payments, means cash goes out of the business. So, when we talk in terms of cash receipts, we are looking into cash inflows. And when we are looking into cash payments, we are looking into cash outflow. So the main thing that we need to do is first categorize the information and find out, categorize the information in the sense we need to see whether there is cash receipts or cash payments. Now the first one is talking in terms of sales. So when the business sells commodities, definitely it gets money. Okay, so it's cash receipts, cash comes in. Now then the second information that is given is wages and salaries. Now wages and salaries the business has to pay. As such it turns out to be a cash payment. So sales will be cash receipts. Wages the business will have to make the payment. As such it is cash payment. Now the third adjustment is again pertaining to sales. So we need to account for the third adjustment when we are looking into cash receipts, that is sales. The fourth adjustment talks about purchases. Okay, so when we are purchasing raw materials for the business, cash goes out. As such, it is a cash payment. Now, the fifth adjustment is in terms of the interest on 10% debentures, which has to be paid. Now, here also the money has to be paid. As such, the fifth adjustment is pertaining to cash payments. Now, the sixth one is the firm is to make an advance payment of tax. Again, it is payment. As such, this also comes under cash payment. And then the last one is relating to the cash balance, the opening cash balance which the business has. And this problem talks in terms of maintaining a minimum cash balance. Okay, so at any given point of time, the business has to maintain a minimum cash balance. The firm had a cash balance of rupees 20,000 on April 1st, 2021, which is the minimum desired level of cash balance. So, what it says is that at any given point of time in any month, the business should have at least 20,000 rupees as its closing balance. Now, there is one thing that you need to remember, the closing balance of January will be the opening balance of February. Like if you have 10,000 rupees in your pocket at the end of the day, tonight when you are about to sleep, you have 10,000 rupees in your wallet. So tomorrow when you get up, you will have this 10,000 rupees in your wallet, right? So whatever is the closing balance of the previous day becomes the opening balance of the next day. So the business is required to maintain 20,000 rupees at any given point of time, a minimum balance. Any cash which is surplus or deficit above or below this level of 20,000 is made up by temporary investments or liquidation of temporary investments or temporary borrowings. Now, what does this mean is that suppose if the business cash is less than 20,000 at any given point of time, then the firm will have to go ahead and borrow the money. Okay, it has to borrow the money, or in case if it has any investments, it will have to liquidate it. Liquidate means it has to sell and get the money so that it can maintain this 20,000 rupees minimum cash balance. Now say suppose at any given month if the closing cash balance which the business has is more than 20,000, then it can go ahead and temporarily invest it. Okay, so investments will arise when the business has surplus cash, and liquidation of these investments, selling of these investments will arise, or borrowings will arise when there is deficit of money, when the business does not have this minimum 20,000 rupees to maintain. Okay, so that is the gist of the problem. Let us go ahead and solve this problem. Let me clear all these things. Okay, first let us look into the sales aspect. We'll start by trying to find out. Now here they've given monthly sales, total sales are given over here in this table. And what is mentioned in the third adjustment? Of the sales, out of the total sales, okay, 80% is on credit. 80% of this total sales is on credit basis. So if 80% is on credit, that means 20% is on cash. Cash sales means you get the money immediately when you sell the commodities, whereas credit sales means you will get the money on a later date. When you sell, immediately you will not get the cash when it comes to credit sales. Okay, so this is what they have mentioned. Of the sales, 80% is on credit and 20% is for cash. Then they have told now this credit sales, you will get the money on a later date. Now, how this money is received on a later date? 75% of the credit sales are collected within 1 month after sale. So, out of this credit sales of 80%, 75% of the money you will receive after 1 month. Okay, and then the balance in 2 months. What is balance here? 25% of credit sales you will get it after 2 months. So let us go ahead and figure out how much is credit sales and how much will be cash sales. So calculation of cash and credit sales. We'll find out what is the total sales. Let us first sort out the total sales part into cash sales and credit sales. So calculation of cash sales and credit sales. So let us quickly write the figures for January, February, March, April, etc. This information you will get it from this table. Okay, the first table, this is where you will get the information. Now I'm going to write all this total sales for all the months. Let us now find out the cash sales. What is given in the third adjustment? Of the sales, 80% is on credit and 20% is for cash. So we'll go ahead and find out how much will be the cash sales. It is 20% of total sales. So let us calculate 20% of 1 lakh is 20,000. 20% of February's sales, 1,20,000 is 24,000. Likewise, for March, it is 28,000. 16,000. 20% of 80,000 is 16,000. 12,000. 16,000. 20,000. 16,000, sorry. And 20% of 60,000 is 12,000. The next coming to credit sales. Credit sales is 80% of total sales. Okay, or what you can do, total sales minus cash sales will also give you the same figure. So 1 lakh minus 20,000 is 80,000. This will be 96,000. 1 lakh 12,000. 64,000. 48,000. 64,000. 80,000. 64,000, and then this will be 40. Total sales is bifurcated into cash sales, which is 20%, and credit sales, which is 80%. Now, moving ahead, how is this credit sales collected? Now, whatever the credit sales are, okay, out of this Total credit sales, 75% of the credit sales is received after 1 month. So credit period is 1 month for 75% of the credit sales, and the balance is 25%. You will receive the money after 2 months. Okay, that means to say, suppose we are talking about the credit sales of January, 75% of the money you will receive it after 1 month, that is in the month of February, and the rest 25% you will receive it after 2 months. So you're selling it in January, 25% of that amount you're going to receive after 2 months, so March. Likewise, February sales, 75% of the credit sales of February you will receive it in March, and the rest 25% you're going to receive it in the month of April. Okay, so this is how we are going to uh, fill in when it comes to collection from debtors. So whatever money we are receiving, so we have to look into collection from debtors. Okay, collection from debtors is nothing but collecting the money that is due on the credit sales. So now the figures that we are going to look into are these figures. Okay, let me just highlight it. Okay, so these are the credit sales. So we need to find out how we are going to collect this money. So after 1 month, we are going to receive 75% of the money, and after 2 months, we are going to receive 25% of the credit sales. Okay, remember this is 75% of credit sales, not total sales, because we are looking into collection from debtors, and this is 25% of the credit sales. Okay, so this is the these are the figures that we need to look into. January sales is 80,000. Now 75% of it you're going to receive it in February. So 75% of 80,000 is 60,000. Okay, so what is this figure? This is 75% of the month of January's credit sales. Okay. Now, when will you receive? Now we are looking into the January sales. We are looking into this figure. Okay. This is the figure that we are looking into. So this January sales, we are going to get 75% of it in the month of February. The rest 25% is after 2 months. So you're going to get it in the month of March. So 25% of uh, 25% of 80,000 is 20,000. Okay, so this is 25% of the sales of January. Now, February sales is 96,000. Now, this 96,000, 75% of it, you're going to receive it in the month of March, pertaining to February. The rest 25%, you're going to get it in the month of April. Okay, so we are looking into February's credit sales. 96,000 is a February's credit sales. Out of this, 75% you're going to receive after 1 month, that is in the month of March, and the rest 25% you're going to get it after 2 months, that is in the month of April. So, how much is 75% of 96,000? It is 72,000. And then, how much is 25% of 96,000? Will be 24,000. Coming to the month of March, March sales is 1,12,000. 75% of it you will receive it in the month of April. So that will come to 84,000. So this is 75% of the month of March. The rest 25% you're going to receive it in the month of May. So how much is 25% of 1,12,000? That comes to 28,000. Now the month of April, the credit sales is 64,000. Okay, 75% of it will be 48,000 pertaining to the month of April, and for the month of June it will be 25% of 64,000, that is May's sales is 48,000. 75% of it will be 36,000, and 25% of it will be 12,000. June's sales are 64,000. Now, of this, 75% will be 48,000. You will receive it in the month of July. Then 25% of it, that is 16,000, you will receive it in the month of August. Moving ahead, for the month of July, the sales is 80,000. Okay, now 75% of 80,000 is 60,000. You will receive it in August, and then the rest of the money you're going to receive it in the month of September, that is 20,000. Okay, so this is collection from debtors. Now, for understanding, for knowing these figures, we need to have the details for the previous months. So we need to have the details for the months of December, November, and October. Let us see in the problem whether they have given any information relating to the past 3 months before January. We don't find any information. As such, this will be nil. We do not know the information, so we can take it as nil. Over here, there is one more column over here. August sales is, credit sales is 64,000. So 75% of it is received in the month of September. And the next 25% you will receive it in the month of October. But anyways, we are not preparing the cash budget for the months of October. We are going to stop at September. As such, we don't have to prepare the columns for it. Okay. Now quickly we'll look into the collection from debtors. So in total, how much will be the collection from debtors? Let me add one more column over here. Okay, so let us quickly look into the collection from debtors. So we need to add these columns. Quickly add the columns and find out how much will be the money. We do not know this, so leave it as it is. So this is 60,000. So here 72 plus 20,000. That comes to, we are looking into March month, 92,000. Okay, collection for the month of April will be 84,000 plus 24,000. That will be 1,08,000. And then for the month of May, 48,000 plus 28,000, that will be 76,000. For the month of June, it is 36,000 plus 16,000, so that will be 52,000. For the month of July, it is 48,000 plus 12,000, so that will be 60,000. For the month of August, it is 60,000 plus 16,000, so 76,000. For the month of September, 48,000 plus 20,000, so that comes to 68,000. So whatever figures we have over here is collection from debtors. I hope this is understood. Purchases amount to 80% of sales. So the company purchases to the extent of 80% of its sales. So for the month of January, sales is 1 lakh. 80% of sales, so 80% of 1 lakh we need to take. Now, purchases amount to 80% of sales and are made on credit. So the complete purchases are on credit basis. Okay, that means to say you make the purchases now and pay it on a later date. So and are made on credit. And when is it paid? It is paid for in the month preceding the sales. What do you mean by preceding? Before. So whatever sales is there of February, you will take 80% of the sales of February. Before you have to sell it, you need to produce, right? That is why you need to purchase raw materials. So when are you going to purchase it? You're purchasing it in the previous month. Okay. So in the month of January, what will be your purchases? In the month of January, your purchases will be 80% of sales of February. So purchases amount to 80% of sales and are made on credit basis. So whole purchases are on credit basis and paid for in the month preceding the sale. So it is paid in the month previous to the sales. So whatever you want to sell in the month of February, for that you're going to purchase the materials in the month of January. And what is its cost? 80%. So quickly we'll go ahead and prepare the table for it. Quickly we will calculate the purchases. How much is the purchase? It is not given directly in the problem. We need to find it. So let me put the sales figures. So these are the sales figures which I'm going to copy and I'll put it over here. Okay. So these are the total sales figures. What is purchases? Purchases is 80% of. So how much is 80% of 1 lakh? It is 80,000. 80% of 1 lakh 20,000 is 96,000. This will be 1 lakh 12,000. This will be 64,000. This will be 48,000. 64,000. 80,000. 64,000 and 48,000. Now how is it paid? Purchases amount to 80% of sales and are made on credit and paid for in the month preceding the sales. Okay, so that means to say February sales will be paid in the month of January. Likewise, March sales 1,12,000 will be paid in the month of February. April's will be paid in the month of March. May's will be paid in the month of April and likewise. Okay, so this figure will be 1,12,000. This will be 64,000. Purchases of April will be 48,000. Purchases of May will be 64,000. Purchases of June will be 80,000. Of July will be 64,000. Of August will be 48,000. For September, then what it will be? It will be the sales of October. So look into in the information whether sales of October is given. So sales of October is given over here. How much is the sales? 1 lakh. Okay, so don't take 1 lakh. We have to take 80% of 1 lakh. So that amounts to 80,000. Okay, so this is the calculation for purchases. This is payment that we make for purchases. Okay, more or less we have done all the calculations. Now we can go ahead and prepare the cash budget. They have asked us to prepare monthly cash budget for 6 months beginning from April 2021. So let us prepare the cash budget, monthly cash budget for the months of April to September 2021 for 6 months. Okay. Now there is a particular format that you need to follow. First will be the cash that the business has at the beginning of the month. So opening cash balance. Then we will sort out all the cash receipts. Okay. And then look into the cash payments. So we'll first write the opening cash balance. What is the opening cash balance? Now in the problem, look into the last adjustment. The firm had a cash balance of rupees 20,000 on April 1st, 2021, which is the minimum desired level of cash balance. So, in the month of April 2021, the company had 20,000 as its opening cash balance. Now, what are the cash receipts the business had? Okay, what are the cash inflows? One is the company got its money by way of cash sales, and the company also collected money from its debtors. Collection from debtors. Now, what is collection from debtors? It is nothing but the credit sales. Okay, let me just delete these two rows. So collection from debtors pertaining to credit sales. Where will we get this information? We have already made the calculations over here. So we don't want January, February, March because our cash budget is for April to September. So let us take these figures and put it in the cash sales part. Okay. So we are looking into cash receipts. We also have opening cash balance, which is directly given in the problem. Now, where else we get the money? We get money from debtors. Okay, so how much is the collection from debtors? This last column. Again, we don't want the money for the first 3 months. We are looking into the months of April to September. This is collection from debtors, which we are going to directly take it to. Okay. Are there any other cash receipts? So this the first adjustment is in relation to sales. So cash receipts, wages and salaries payment, purchase is a payment, debentures, interest on these has to be paid. So it is also a payment. Firm has to make an advance payment of tax. This is also a payment. So no other cash receipts are uh, mentioned in the problem. Nothing is mentioned. No other cash receipts are mentioned in the problem. So let us go ahead and find out what is the total cash that is available with the business. Okay, so total cash available with the business. How do you get this figure? Now you have to add opening cash balance and cash receipts. So total cash available is opening cash balance plus cash receipts. Okay, so we need to add these three. So 20,000 plus 16,000 plus 1 lakh 8,000 will be 1 lakh 44,000. Let us mention this as A. Okay, calculation. We can't fill up the columns. We cannot fill up for May, June, July, August, September because we do not know the opening cash balance for all these months. But we need to find out. Okay, so first, if we can find out the closing cash balance of April, that will be the opening cash balance for the month of May. So we will go ahead, keep all the other months just like that, and then go ahead and check out what are the cash payments. So what are the cash payments the business has? Wages and salaries and purchases. We have done the purchases over here, so we can fill in the purchases. Payment towards purchases. We can directly take it from these figures. 48,000, 64, 80, 64, 48, and 80,000. The next we have wages and payment towards wages and salaries. So they have given the figures over here, wages and salaries. April 9, May 8, June 10, July 10,000, August 9,000, and September 9,000. So we will quickly fill it up over here. 9,000, 8,000, 10,000, 10,000, 9,000, and 9,000. Next is interest on debentures. So how much is interest on debentures? The firm has 10% debentures of rupees 1,20,000. Interest on these has to be paid quarterly in January, April, and so on. Quarterly means every 3 months. So you pay it in the month of January, then you will pay it in the month of April, then you will pay it in the month of July, then you will pay it in the month of October. We don't prepare the cash budget for January, neither we prepare it for October. So only in April and July we need to make the payment. Okay, in towards debentures. So 10% debentures of rupees 1,20,000. It has to be paid quarterly. So interest on debentures is 20%. Okay, into rupees 1,20,000 into it is paid quarterly, right? So 3 by 12, 3 months. That comes to 3,000. When are we going to pay? Quarterly. So 3,000, and the next payment will fall in the month of July. Next will be in the month of October. We don't have a column for October. Is there any other payment? A firm is to make an advance payment of tax of rupees 5,000 in July 2021. So advance tax payment in the month of July, we have to pay 5,000. No other payments. We need to find out the total cash payments. Total cash payments. Now, this we will get by adding all the payments. So these are the one amounts that we need to add. 48 plus 9 plus 3, 64 plus 8,000, 80 plus 10,000, 64, 10, 3,000 plus 5,000, 48,000 plus 9,000, and 80,000 plus 9,000. We will name the total payments as B. So this will be 60,000, 72,000, 90,000, 82,000, 50, 7,000 and 89,000. Then we need to find out whether we have surplus cash or whether we have a deficit or shortfall. Now, the total cash available with the business is 1,44,000. Now, these are the payments that we need to make. So, this much money we have now. Opening balance was 20,000. We received 16,000 plus 1,80,000, 1,08,000. Sorry. So, the total money that we have is 1,44,000. Out of which we need to pay 48,000, 9,000, and 3,000. Okay. How much will our surplus or deficit be? So, this amount will be 84,000. How did we get this? This is A minus B. The total cash available with the business A, okay, 1,44,000 minus 60,000. So that comes to 84,000. How much is the minimum cash balance that the business has to maintain? It's specifically given that the business will have to maintain a minimum cash balance of rupees 20,000, okay, which is the minimum desired level of cash balance. So at any given point of time, the business will have to maintain a minimum cash balance of 20,000. Okay, so let us look into how much will be the closing cash balance. It is nothing but the minimum balance that needs to be maintained. Minimum balance to be maintained is 20,000. Business has 84. What will you do with the rest of the money? Any cash surplus or deficit above or below this level is made up by temporary investments or by liquidating temporary investments or temporary borrowings in case of deficit. Now the business has 84,000 rupees. Minimum balance that has to be maintained is 20,000. So how much the business has that it can invest? So the surplus money that now it has available for investments. Okay, so cash available for investments is how much? 84,000 minus 20,000. So it has 64,000. 20,000 it has to keep, even though it has 84,000 with it. Okay, it cannot fully utilize 84,000 because 20,000 has to be maintained within the company as closing cash balance. As such, the cash available for investments is rupees 64,000. Okay, now this is a cash outflow. You're investing, cash goes out. As such, it will be a minus sign. Okay, it will be a minus figure. How did you get this? Let us assume surplus or deficit is C. And how did you get C? A minus B. Right? Closing cash balance as. So how did you get cash available for investments? It is C minus D. Okay. So C minus D. Moving ahead to the month of May. How much is the May's receipts? We do not know. Okay, because we do not know because we need to fill this particular figure. Now, what is this figure? Opening cash balance. In the problem, we have not given the opening cash balance of May, but we have derived it. So go back and find out what is the closing cash balance for April. Closing cash balance of April is 20,000, which becomes the opening cash balance of May. So May's opening cash balance is 20,000. Now we can fill in this column. What is the total cash available? 20,000 plus 12,000 plus 76,000. So that comes to 1,08,000. 1,08,000 is the total cash receipts, total cash available with the business. How much the business will pay in the month of May? 64,000 and 8,000. Sorry. So 1,08,000 minus 72,000. Total payments is 72,000. So how much will that be? 36,000. How much is the minimum cash balance the business has to maintain? 20,000. So it has surplus of 36,000 after making the payments, out of which the closing cash balance that has to be maintained is 20,000, which means to say that the business has 16,000 rupees in its hands to invest. So money goes out in the form of investment. The closing cash balance of May is 20,000, which becomes the opening cash balance of June. So June's cash balance now is 20,000 opening balance. So find out what is the total cash available. 20,000 plus 16,000 plus 52,000. The total cash available for the month of June is 88,000. From this 88,000, find out how much has to be paid. 90,000 has to be paid. 88,000 is the cash available. 90,000 is the payment. That means to say the business has a deficit of 2,000 rupees. It is falling short of 2,000 rupees. But how much is the balance it has to maintain? 20,000 is the balance it has to maintain. How much the business has to, that means to say it will not have money to invest, but it has to borrow. Okay, either borrow or what is mentioned in the problem, liquidate the investments. That is, liquidate is nothing but sell the investments. Okay, I'll repeat. The total cash available for the month of June is 88,000. The business has to pay 90,000. That means it is already falling short of this 2,000 rupees. It is falling short of 2,000 rupees, plus it has to maintain a minimum cash balance of 20,000. So how much the business will have to borrow in the month of June? Only if it borrows 22,000, it can pay back this deficit and then maintain 20,000 rupees as minimum cash balance. Remember, borrowings means money comes in, as such this figure is a plus sign. Okay, 22,000 is a plus sign. Now, the June's closing cash balance is 20,000, which becomes the opening cash balance for the month of July. So, for the month of July, 20,000 plus 20,000 plus 60,000. So, what is the total cash available for the month of July? It is 1 lakh. Okay, so this 1 lakh is the cash available for the business. How much it has to pay? 64,000 plus 10,000 plus 3,000 plus 5,000 is a total payment. So from 1 lakh rupees, it has to pay 82,000. So how much is the money that the business has now? How much money the business will have after paying this 82,000 from 1 lakh? It will have 18,000 rupees in its hand. But then it is fall short of some money, because out of this 18,000, at least 20,000 has to be maintained in the business. That means to say it is falling short of 2,000 rupees which it has to borrow. It has 18,000 rupees after making all the payments. Okay, but the minimum cash balance that has to be maintained is 20,000 rupees. So it is falling short of 2,000 rupees which it has to borrow. So this 20,000 rupees closing balance of July will be the opening cash balance for the month of August. For the month of August, the opening cash balance is 20,000. Add these two, 16,000 plus 76,000. So what is its total balance cash available in its hand? 1,12,000. Out of which it has to make payments to the extent of 48,000 and 9,000. So 1,12,000 minus 57,000. The business will have cash to the extent of 55,000. So after making 57,000 payment, the business has a surplus of 55,000, out of which 20,000 has to be maintained as minimum cash balance. So the business has around 35,000 to invest. Okay, so it can invest rupees 35,000, no need to borrow. Okay, now this 20,000 rupees of August, it will be the opening cash balance of September. So now for the month of September, 20,000 plus 12 plus 68. So how much will be its total cash availability, it is 1 lakh. Now out of 1 lakh, this 1 lakh, it has to pay 80,000 and 9,000. So total it has to pay 89,000 out of 1 lakh. After making 89,000 payment, it will have a cash or a surplus of 11,000 in its hand. Okay, 11,000 is not sufficient because the business has to maintain a minimum cash balance of 20,000 rupees. So from 11,000 it has to come to 20,000. That means to say definitely it cannot invest since it is falling deficit. As such, it will have to borrow. So how much it has to borrow? From 11,000 to make 20,000, to maintain 20,000, it has to borrow 9,000 rupees. Please go ahead and solve the problem on your own and try and find out whether your answers are the same as these answers. Simple problem, only thing is use a little bit of calculation. We have to make a little bit of calculations for sales and purchases. And then since the problem mentions that a minimum cash balance has to be maintained, we have to keep in mind that at any given point of time, the business should not fall short of 20,000 rupees, which is the minimum cash balance. Okay, so that's the cash budget for months of April to September. That's all for now. Hope you all had a pleasant learning experience. See you all in our next video.